All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for a few real people out there, just like you and just like me. So, Kiss really isn't going away. It's what we all suspected. Now, it's not Kiss altogether. Okay, it's going to be Gene Simmons and the AstraZeneca band. All right, it's going to be awesome. They're going to tell you what you should do and how you should do it, and then call you names if you decide you don't want to do it. Before I talk about old Gene Simmons, here are the Ghost Towns. This is a great band. I recommended this last year. Doesn't sound like anything else you've ever heard. It's rock, it's soul, it's country, it's southern rock, it's blues. Did I forget anything? Yeah, you got to go listen to it, okay? Millions of streams over on your streaming platforms. And I liked it so much, I bought this as a souvenir to show the audience. The album is called First Last Time. And if it's available, I will put it in the product description portion of this video, where if you click on the link, you can just order yourself a copy. And then you can tell your friends, I bought something today. I didn't just stream it, I bought it. Okay? Help the bands. Help these people, because you know what? For some strange reason, Ghost Towns not being played. Nope, they're not on the radio. Shocker. Yeah. So you know what else isn't really a shocker? Gene Simmons is back. Fans shouldn't expect an appearance by the Demon when Gene Simmons returns to the stage. By the way, that's his character in the band Kiss. He's not going to be wearing makeup. Now, I remember, I'm old enough to remember, I hate to say it like that, back in the early 1980s when Kiss got rid of their makeup. And people were like, holy crap, Batman, this is what they look like, huh? Maybe they should have kept wearing the makeup. Anyway, they took the makeup off and went about their business. And then eventually they put the makeup back on. Why? Because when you get old, you can cover stuff up with makeup. You got wrinkles, you got makeup. You have age spots, ideal, right? So you can kind of look like you've always looked, sort of, except maybe you've put on 50 pounds since 1978. I don't know. The point being, though, is Gene isn't going to be wearing makeup anymore. And some fans might find that offensive. Okay. So anyway, Kiss, which announced their last concert back in December. Remember this? Closing out a 4-year trek. They use the word trek here. Okay. It's a tour, concert tour, and it was dubbed. We dubbed in a musical part here. It's called The End of the Road. They performed in the band's original grease paint or makeup, though members had come and gone, and co-founders Simmons and Paul Stanley over the years. Okay, though members had come and gone. All right, whatever. There were hints, however, that we hadn't seen the last of Kiss. Really, there were hints. There were just a few hints. The end of the road is the beginning of another road, Stanley said during their last performance, basically telegraphing to the crowd that they'd been bamboozled. If you thought this was the last time that you're going to see us, man, I got a bridge to sell you in Baltimore. Sorry. People are saying that whole thing is like a conspiracy now. Like the Ukrainian boat driver or something. I've been listening to some people, and man, we are quick these days to just shift into conspiracy mode. Pray for the people in that whole situation, the families of those who lost their lives. I know it could have been a lot worse, as far as you watch this bridge collapse and you're like, this isn't good. This is really, really bad. So anyway, thoughts and prayers to everybody, seriously. So getting back to this very lame video I'm doing right now, talking about Gene Simmons here. Simmons, by the way, added in a video that he put out there, if you think you're going to get rid of us, then that's not going to happen. He's threatening me. Okay, now this is the guy, along with a few other well-known musicians back 3 or 4 years ago, who was telling me that I was stupid for not trusting the old Fauci ouchie, right? And I remember rock media at that time, their main goal wasn't to promote music. No. In fact, I'm watching these people kill their own industry in real time. And they're running around saying, we may not be able to do this anymore. It's going to be dangerous. And people are now afraid and people don't want to go back out in groups. And thankfully, that wasn't the case, but it was for a number of months, maybe even up to a year, maybe 18 months or so. It just went on, and then you had to take a test, and then there's a QR code, and you have to register and have your whole life story uploaded to a cloud somewhere. I mean, hey, what could go wrong with all of that, right? The government having all of your medical information. What could go wrong with that, Gene Simmons? Oh, it's for the greater good. We have to save grandpa. Well, you are grandpa, right? And you're out there. So maybe you should quarantine for a few years. I mean, this is just, I don't know. I mean, there's the word hypocrite. That comes to mind. Blowhard comes to mind. Self-righteous fool, that comes to mind. Just let people do what they want to do. That's what freedom is all about. I have the freedom not to participate in your government program. And in fact, we've learned a lot since then, and nobody has ever come forward to say, maybe we were wrong. Not one person. Everybody still thinks, are you up to date? Because if you want to go see a concert, you want to go see Kiss or Sebastian Bach. Ironically, Sebastian is going to be on this concert bill with Gene Simmons in April in Brazil. It's going to be Gene Simmons and his little side band. Okay, so you're not going to see us again, except you'll see the Gene Simmons band out on the road come April. Was he plotting his escape from Kiss? Did he realize, hey, I'm Gene Simmons, I'm the star of the show, I can just do this by myself and make a ton of money in Brazil at what's being called the Summer Breeze Festival, alongside Big Pharma employee Sebastian Bach and the band Mr. Big. By the way, Mr. Big, Eric Martin, the singer, he's having some issues with his vocal cords these days. And I think they brought someone in to help the band along. Man, between the death of Pat Torpey and just the idea that band waited so long to do anything, they should have done something like 10 years ago. Maybe they did, but what I'm saying is a lot of time went by. And that's a great band that got totally destroyed by this whole wonderful grunge movement and 30 years of darkness that we've had since. Yet there are still fans out there who love Mr. Big, and I wish them well. I hope Eric fully recovers. But anyway, if you're a fan of Gene Simmons, you have to deal with two things. Number one, he's not in Kiss technically anymore touring. However, never rule out the possibility that Kiss wouldn't come back, because they may come back. Number two, he says, no more makeup for me. But he says, we're the luckiest people in the world. You know why? Because he's making money hand over fist. That's why. And he's not stupid. He's a smart businessman. I just wish he'd apologize for the things that he said to people. Look, I don't have a dog in the whole Kiss thing, the hunt of Kiss. I'm not hunting for Kiss. They're not in my top 10. They're not in my top 20, right? They're a respectable band that I enjoyed for a little while, primarily during the 1980s and maybe into the early 90s. And that was it. I was never big into the 70s Kiss material, although that is really the best music the band ever made was back in the 1970s, in my humble opinion. So, again, if you're a fan of the whole Kiss franchise, it's not going away yet. It's going to be around, and it may come totally back. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll try to get Ace and Peter for like this one-off big performance somewhere and imagine if they did that and they would make like $1 billion or something. They'll do pay-per-view. They'll have flying saucers. They'll have dancing girls. They'll have the whole thing because it's Kiss. Pyrotechnics, elephants. I'm thinking all the things that Kiss could bring in. I'm thinking of the Psycho Circus, right? So they would do that for sure. Anyway, Gene, best of luck without the makeup, buddy. It's not like you haven't done this before. Ghost Towns, first last time. This is spectacular. You really need to go listen to it. My name is Dave. I need help fighting against the algorithm here. Been doing this channel for like 8 years now. And for some reason, I used to make some pretty good money doing this. Seriously, like just 2 years ago. It was great. But now, even last year at the beginning of the year was okay. But now, might be time for me to get that application for the Walmart greeter thing. Welcome to Walmart. I could do that job. I know I could do it. And I might even be a celebrity over there. They might recognize me and say, aren't you the guy that used to do those videos? Yeah, that's me. But I make more money doing this over here. So I had to quit that job. Anyway, if you want to support the channel, and I'm not going anywhere as of yet, the thought has crossed my mind, though, just how long can I keep going with this? Classic rock is kind of going away. There's going to be just weird things to talk about here and there. I mean, yes, I can make fun of Gene Simmons. That will be very good for me. But, how long is that going to continue? But if you like the content and you want to give me a little attaboy, or just, you enjoy the content, you want to support the channel, there's YouTube memberships. There's something called Buy Me a Coffee, which is a new feature. And there's Patreon, which is where I actually will meet and greet people and reply to messages and things like that, which, again, I try to get to everybody's stuff. Every so often I miss one or two because I am not a social media animal, but I'm trying to do better. So anyway, folks, those are ways you can support the channel. And that's kind of it. So way to go, Gene Simmons. Kiss not going anywhere, and the end of the road never really came to an end.